now added 2 extra days to their UK tour. They're Brighton on the 14th of December and Bournemouth on the 15th. Well, today, Jeremy King of our entertainment staff, who travel with the band on their French tour, chats to Michael Hutchence about everything from, yes, Kylie, and all the way to acting.
Having been up and clubbing until 5 AM after their Bordeaux concert, it's time for INXS to travel to Toulouse for their 4th French concert in as many days. So it's back to the train for some very strong coffee and the odd croque monsieur. And a very bored Michael Hutchence chats to April Pengilly, daughter of guitarist saxophonist Kirk, to pass the time. INXS have paid their dues and served their time in terms of touring. In their early days, they played to thousands of pubs across Australia, knee-deep in beer, and inevitably cracks began to appear in the band's lineup. That was last year, before recording X, their latest album, when INXS took time out from each other to pursue solo projects. So how did they use their hard-won freedom?
I played on a few people's albums in Australia, some sax and stuff. What else did I do? Built a house.
I went fishing. No, it's more like this sort of fishing. Yeah, I'm into tagging, releasing blue, black and striped marlin, basically, and yellowfin tuna, which I prefer to eat raw. And I co-produced and solo-produced a band called Crush Politics in Australia. And basically made a documentary about my fishing experiences over the past year. I was able to give myself the time to write and just explore my own musical capabilities, which I didn't really know what those limitations were, and I still really don't. I work with an artist called Jenny Morris, and she's got a record out called Shiver, and I worked on that as a producer. Also did a lot of writing, similar to John. Also, I tried to have nothing to do with the music business or people in it, actually.
Michael Hutchence went his own way too, recording his first solo project, an album called Max Q, which didn't exactly race up the charts. So was he disappointed?
I don't think that it was very low-key the way it came out, and I don't think people quite knew it was even out, you know. But that's okay, you know, it's all right. It's around, it's out there, people are still getting it.
And after his much publicised affair with Kylie Minogue, virtually making them the Charles and Di of Australia, how did he feel about his treatment by the press earlier this year?
I don't know, it's my private life and a lot of people are interested, which I think I find pretty amusing. You know, I'm not naive enough to say that I didn't really expect it, but, you know, I'm just trying to be oblivious, actually, to that. I don't want to play the game, as the guys, the journalists keep screaming at me. But then again, you know, I'm not naive to it.
With Hutchence often compared by the media to a young Jagger in terms of energy and sexual charisma, how does he handle his high media profile?
I mean, I think people get concerned that control is taken out of our hands, you know. That's the only problem. I get concerned about that too.
Hutchence also followed up his feature film debut in Dogs in Space with a role as the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley in Frankenstein Unbound. But with the screen littered with pop stars turned would-be film stars, wasn't that a bit brave?
It was fun to do. I mean, Roger Corman's idea was that he rang me up and said, I reckon, you know, Shelley and Byron were like rock stars in their time, and he wanted someone in a band to actually play it. So in that instance, it's great. You know. I know I did want to. I always wanted to from years ago. I got into a band in the meantime, really. And so that's how I started. And once it gets into your blood, you really want to do it. It's one of those things. So I understand why people do it. For me, I just wait around, and if I get something every 5 years, it's fine.